Hello everybody and welcome here to Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park for tonight's matchup between New Mexico United and the visiting Loudoun United FC. Kickoff coming up here in just a few minutes. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tyler Ortega, joined tonight by Heather Dyke for tonight's matchup between the two Uniteds, Loudoun United and New Mexico United. But before we dive deep into tonight's matchup, let's have a look at how we got to this point. New Mexico United did not start off too hot, losing in the first match of the season over at RGV by a score of 1-0. So we'll jump over to match two. It was Harry Swartz connecting with Devin Sandoval for the first game. First goal of the season. And Heather, Harry Swartz has been a fantastic addition to this squad.
Yeah, he's brought an incredible amount of energy to the game, and I think you see him making other players around him just look better.
And here El Paso able to steal a point in the 96th minute with this goal. And with a big rivalry like that, it obviously hurts to lose at the last second like that, to lose your 3 points. So let's fast forward. First game back at the lab against Austin Bold. First game in 574 days. It was the Albuquerque native opening his United account, Heather, Sergio Rivas.
Sergio Rivas has been a special player, for a long time in New Mexico. So to see him get that goal was pretty amazing. And
then it was the guests coming out right out of half. Nick Hines with a stunner from just inside the box, pulling Austin Bold level at 1 goal apiece. But it was New Mexico United. Brian Brown, shortly after substituting on, opening his New Mexico United account with that chip over the keeper. And then, adding on the third, it was Armando Moreno with this headed effort. That was actually the goal of the week winner in week number 4. It was a 3-1 victory, the first of the season for New Mexico United. That's the first goal at the lab for Armando Moreno. And now just last weekend, United taking on Switchbacks at the brand new Widener Field. It was a dream start for the home team as Haji Berry scores 67 seconds into the match here, Heather.
Yeah, I think it was for them to have their opening stadium and the first night there, you saw them come out with some passion.
But New Mexico United were up to the task. It was Sergio Rivas finding the back of the net for the second consecutive week. He's really come into form very quickly.
He's come into form, and I think there's even more from him. He's a special player.
And that is the curse, of course, the New Mexico United supporters group, as Armando Moreno again adding to his goal tally. That's his second of the year, and just like Rivas, that is his second in just as many games. And New Mexico United would actually go down to 10 men for majority of that second half, but it was Daniel Bruce firing this one, upper 90, goal of the week winner there for week number 5 as we have a look at tonight's Lumen Optimal Wellness players to watch. Enjoy a healthier body and mind. It's Sammy Sergi, the former New Mexico United player. It's going to be his first game playing in the lab, and he scored his first professional goal just last week against Red Bulls 2 for New Mexico United. Armando Moreno, he started in all 4 matches, as I just mentioned, has scored 2 goals in these previous 2 games. So we're going to step aside for just a moment. Kickoff when we return.
Gives you more with buy one, get one free traditional wings on Wing Tuesdays. It's like hitting the lottery twice, right in the mouth. The win-win value lineup at Buffalo Wild Wings. Get takeout or delivery.
In the 2019 Reader's Choice Awards from the Albuquerque Journal, Sandia Resort and Casino was voted Albuquerque's favorite casino. Best customer service, best entertainment venue, best slot machines and poker room, best variety of table games, best rewards program, and best golf course. Best buffet, favorite nightclub, favorite casino. Albuquerque, You deserve the best. Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary.
This is where we keep our memories. We've shared so many adventures. Those sounds, shapes, those special places. We've missed them.
We're ready for some new adventures.
And so is New Mexico.
Let's go.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, now with a new look.
Hate bones? Love saving money? B-Dubs gives you more with buy one, get one free boneless wings on Boneless Thursdays. So keep the bones in your wallet and out of your chicken. The win-win value lineup at Buffalo Wild Wings. Get takeout or delivery.
Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to Isotopes Park in Albuquerque, New Mexico, as the 2021 New Mexico United season is presented by Sandia Resort and Casino, close to home, far from ordinary. Let's go ahead and have a look at tonight's starting lineups presented by Michelob Ultra. And, well, actually, it looks like we're going to start off with Kickoff. First, it's the visitors, and that's Sammy Sergi, former New Mexico United player, kicking things off. As we said, my name's Tyler Ortega, joined by the head coach of the University of New Mexico women's soccer team, Heather Dyke, for tonight's matchup. This is the first interconference matchup in New Mexico United history, Heather.
Yeah, really exciting to see a different team here. I mean, Loudoun United is obviously from the East Coast, and it's a different matchup for us, which is exciting to see some different players and different lineups.
And this ball already trouble for New Mexico United as that one goes across the 18, and it's Josh Suggs just poking that one away. The line being led by Devin Sandoval up top, and he's joined by Brian Brown as well. Jermaine Florida in goal for Loudoun. And if you're a New Mexico United fan, you think you've heard that name before. Well, he was with El Paso most recently before moving over to Loudoun. Of course, DC United, the parent club of Loudoun United. So, Heather, we're going to be seeing some really quality players on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, this lineup both ways. There's some amazing attacking players, some really solid players, you know, in the midfield going both ways. And I think for each of these teams now, the idea is to establish their presence and start to get control of the game.
Sam Hamilton. And he's being challenged there by Garay. And that's a sloppy turnover here. Here's Coup Di Pietro as his shot is blocked by Kalen Ryden and eventually just played out by Michael Azira. And already the visitors showing signs of danger. This corner kick is presented by Bank of America's. We'll get to these Michelob Ultra starting lineups here for New Mexico United. It's, as we said, it's Brian Brown, Devin Sandoval leading the line, Amando Moreno, Sergio Rivas. A lot of attacking power for New Mexico United here tonight, who are most notably not in their traditional black and yellow. This is the debut of their third kit, the Electric Playhouse Electric Turquoise. They look sharp.
They look good. Beautiful night. They look electric. They're glowing a little bit out there.
That ball stolen by Josh Suggs. Here's Devin Sandoval. He is dispossessed. Moreno taken down. No call. That was DeShields getting in there. Now played back to Acque. Back to Acque again. As he is picked up by Michael Azira. That was a great ball over from Sammy Sergi, and Austin Yearwood is in to see the danger away. Yearwood looking for Moreno. It goes over his head. DeShields. Akwe again. That's Samake playing it back to Akwe. Now back to Tim Mel. You know, in Loudoun, Heather, they came out in their first match of the season playing with a back four. Last week against New York Red Bulls 2, they came out with a back three and seemed like their offense was clicking much better.
I thought they were more, attacking-oriented team in the second game with the 3-4-3, which you can see they're coming out here tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see both teams playing with wing-backs, which is going to cause matchups to be, more diverse.
As we have a look at the starting 11 for the visitors, it's Sami Serjai, Mustafa there, and Bolivar flanking. You'll have Garay in the midfield, and as we said, Mel in the middle of that back three. Here's Brian Brown. He's looking for Amando Moreno, and just behind Moreno as he was looking to extend his goal-scoring streak. He's found the back of the net the last two matches for New Mexico United against Austin Bold and Switchbacks FC. Here's Sandoval. And Sandoval tries to poke it forward for Moreno, but that's going to be Loudoun sending it away, Jacob Green. And this looks like it could be some trouble here as that ball played across looking for Bolivar and nothing doing. Here's Rivas. Rivas so comfortable with the ball at his feet.
He's a very skilled player. You watch him play, and he constantly has his head up, which allows him to make decisions quickly and allows him to keep the ball when he has space.
And quickly becoming one of the favorites of the black and yellow faithful, as he is a local kid from right here in Albuquerque, went to Cibola High School. Looking for Brian Brown, and just a little too much on that. Daniel Bruce giving it chase. No big deal as Samake scoops one right by him, and now Samake is out for a run. It was Bolivar, plays it forward. Cu Di Pietro spreads it over to Green, and collision there. It's a scrum on the near side here. That's Cu Di Pietro looking for a chance to put a shot on goal. He'll spread it for Samake, marked by Bruce. Cross goes into the box, and that's over the head of everybody. Mustafa will chase it down. Cross played in by Green. And Hamilton winning that aerial duel against Giovanni Bolivar. Here's Akwe. Just a miscommunication on that one. Tambakis facing pressure from the former United player Sami Serjai. As that ball falls to Garay in the midfield. Plays it back for DeShields. Mel back for Akwe. And Loudoun very comfortable in possession, Heather, averaging just under 65% possession through their first two games.
Yeah, very comfortable in possession, and a lot of players that are willing to take their space when they get the ball, which causes opponents to tuck in and have to double team, which leaves players open and creates a lot of chances for them. You've already seen that a few times tonight.
Throw-in coming up here for the visitors. Thrown in by Green, but immediately deflected by the captain and New Mexico native Josh Suggs. Grew up down south, about 3 hours south of Albuquerque in Las Cruces. He's been the captain for the 3 years in club history. It tells you a lot about the guy's character.
Yeah, he's a player that you can even feel it from here. I mean, you hear his voice, you feel his presence, you see his body language. He's a player that's a clear leader for United. You can already see a little bit of a mismatch now happening with, 4 players in the midfield for Loudoun and 5 in the midfield for New Mexico United, and they're trying to figure out how to defend Sergio Rivas.
Well, in the last 2 weeks, I think our previous 2 opponents have been wondering how to defend Sergio Rivas, as he's netted in both instances. That ball played long from Tambakis. Here's Garay. Sergei was making the run. Some tidy footwork there, but eventually broken up by Michael Azira. Now here's Brian Brown as DeShields wins that challenge.
That will be the space that both teams will try to attack tonight. When you play 3 in the back, it's difficult to cover the full width. So you'll see a lot of direct balls, early entry into those wide channels.
Throw in here for United. So we have a look at this TLC replay. Throw in here for Devin Sandoval, and nobody there at the back post. Brucey on the volley.
We almost got a replay of the goal last week from Daniel Bruce. Pretty unbelievable striker of the ball.
Yeah, and Daniel Bruce, if you remember, hit that banger back in season 1 as well. And since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Here's Sandoval again. It's got Moreno making the run into the 18. Brown was looking for that ball there too, as that one just escapes Sergio Rivas. And now through ball played forward for Sammy Sergi. Kalen Ryden there to pick him up. Sergi, and that is no issues whatsoever for Alex Tambakis.
You can see Loudoun striking quickly in transition there, and when you play with 3 up top and 4 in the midfield, that's what you're trying to do. Find opportunity to get forward quickly, and they did well there.
And Loudoun not necessarily used to these playing in front of these sizes of crowds. I think it might be fair to say this is the largest crowd that they're going to play in front of all season, as Samake tracks this one down. Marked by Hamilton. Bruce is there to pick up and offer some help. Hamilton able to poke that one away. Hamilton is a player that stepped up, obviously the absence of Justin Schmidt last year. Schmidt still working his way into the squad, finding minutes where he can. But Hamilton, he's played so well, you make it hard for Troy Lesane to make that switch.
Hamilton's a player, he's just very composed. There's not a lot of flash, but the more you watch him, the more you kind of fall in love with the way he plays. Very composed, keeps the ball, high rate of possession, and an excellent defender.
He started all 4 matches so far this season and leads the team with 15 tackles. As DeShields sends it away, but only momentarily. Here's Rivas. And that one blocked by Garay.
Great recovery to get a touch on that by Loudoun.
And that's Daniel Bruce. He's quickly become a fan favorite here in New Mexico. And that is one guy that you can say always goes 110%. Starting in place of Harry Swartz tonight, which I thought might have been a little bit interesting.
Yeah, I think Harry's been, a pretty solid player the first 2 games, but Daniel Bruce brings this kind of electric energy and a spark, and I'm sure Coach Lesane was looking to start with that tonight and maybe catch him off guard.
Well, and that's something that you and I had talked about off air, is Troy Lesane constantly shuffling his lineup. As we have a look here at the Garcia Automotive Group keys to the match for New Mexico United, you've got to control the midfield, contain Loudoun's attack, and take advantage of set pieces. Loudoun United, they looked very dangerous off of set pieces last week. Really
dangerous off set pieces. Some really tall forwards that are great in the air, and Sergei being one of them. He does a great job of sitting in the box, staying central, and trying to get on the end of things, which he's been quite successful doing lately.
Opened his USL Championship account just last week against Red Bulls 2. And while these 2 teams may share the same name, Heather, they're the exact opposite in results over the past couple of games, as Loudoun has started off their season with 2 defeats New Mexico United in their last 2 matches picking up 6 points.
Yeah, and when you watch those 2 games back, it's maybe unfair. Loudoun played quite well in both of them, outshot both of their opponents, and weren't lucky enough to put them away.
Brown, I think, was looking for Rivas and just got a little too much on that, but Moreno is there to steal that one back for United. Here's Brown. Bruce has found his way inside. Little 1-2, Brian Brown. Here's Sandoval. Rivas now plays it across for Suggs, and the offside flag is up on the near side. You know, and the lab is celebrating, but Suggs was offside, and you could tell immediately the Loudoun players just stopped playing as soon as they saw the flag up.
Yeah, he was off, and I think he knew it. He kind of just put his head back and ran back, but excellent combination, good build-up coming into it.
Well, and with over 8,000 fans in attendance once again, you can really feel the energy here in the lab. You know, once New Mexico United score, this place is going to blow up.
Still just a lot of space in between the lines for Sergio Rivas. It'll be interesting to see how New Mexico United continues to find him.
Yeah, Rivas, he's started the past 3 matches for New Mexico United. You know, they also brought in Chelo Martinez from RGV, thinking that he would be the one to really step into that role and be dangerous with his delivery, but it's been Sergio Rivas. And as we said, since he's been inserted into this lineup, New Mexico United have scored in every single game.
Yeah, he's a deceptive player on the ball and off the ball. If you watch his movement, he's constantly moving away from pressure, and I think it allows him to receive the ball in really dangerous areas, and then play players into positions to get goals off of it. He's excellent with his ability to pass as well.
Here's Garay. Sergei sunk deep into the midfield. There's Mel, as just caught Sandoval leaning. Akwe now. United defensively have been holding their shape very well through these first 15 minutes.
Already lots of miles put in for Daniel Bruce and Josh Suggs on the wings. It's going to be a lot of running for those guys and the Loudoun FC wingbacks as well.
And Daniel Bruce, we said it's usually Harry Swartz that you see starting in that right wingback spot. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Harry Swartz appearance a little bit later tonight.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to keep those players fresh and try and keep the advantage in our favor, especially with these players coming to play at altitude.
Corner kicks are brought to you by Bank of America. With over 4,600 locations, convenient banking is just around the corner. Yeah, Loudoun out in Leesburg, Virginia. It's not exactly the highest in elevation as that ball played towards the near post and cleared away by the Englishman, Daniel Bruce. And that's something that Troy Lesane was asked about in his press conference. And, and Daniel Bruce as well, and I think Brucey answered it best. And he said, if you're going to rely on the elevation to be the deciding factor, you're probably going to get beat. So it's best to just go out there, execute your game plan, and let that naturally come into play later on as the match goes on.
Yeah, and I think that's a great message. You want to focus on the things that you can control. And if that serves as an advantage to one team later in the game, great.
Samake. Michael Azira, MLS veteran. He's made 130 appearances in the MLS across a handful of clubs: Seattle Sounders, Colorado Rapids, Montreal, as well as most recently the Chicago Fire. Here's Green, picked up by Suggs. Tries to get down to the end line, and Josh Suggs just so good.
Unbelievable defending. Separate the player from the ball, shield, let the ball go out, you gain the goal kick. Very well done by Suggs.
Suggs, the USL's all-time leader in minutes played. A lot of experience on that New Mexico United back line. I mean, you have Kalen Ryden, who's the anchor of that defense. who's a USL Cup champion just season before last with Real Monarchs. Austin Yearwood has been a regular feature for New Mexico United the first 3 seasons. And Sam Hamilton, as we said, he's been playing incredibly well, and it should be somewhat expected from Sam Hamilton being selected in the MLS Super Draft by Colorado Rapids. Obviously a player with a ton of potential. So it's nice to see him really performing up to that level. This is a Fiesta Auto Group free kick, and it looks like it's going to be Sergio Rivas teeing this one up. As he plays it short for Brian Brown. And Brown just has that poked away by Ku Di Pietro.
You can see again Loudoun United trying to transition quickly out of those. It's going to be something to watch as the game goes on.
It is time for the magic minute here at the Lab. And in case you're tuning in for the first time, it is a tradition here at New Mexico United home games where they start going crazy at the 19-minute, 12-second mark on the clock to celebrate the year that New Mexico was actually recognized as a state in 1912. And you'll hear them stop losing their minds at the 20-minute, 18-second mark. And that was the year that the club was announced. So just a really cool tradition. And, when we've heard from the players speak on it, it provides that energy boost.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, New Mexico United has come in and said they want to unite a community and they want to honor New Mexico. And these kinds of tradition are what packs this stadium and gets people so excited to come be a part of this incredible organization.
Here's tonight's injury report brought to you by Ben Sherman Law. Injured at work, Ben Sherman can help. For New Mexico United, this is the best one that we like to see here, Heather. No injuries to report. Of course, Andrew Tenari is suspended following his red card last week at Colorado Switchbacks. Here comes Moreno. Moreno! And ultimately, that was no trouble at all for Jermaine Florida. When before we were talking about that magic minute, Heather, it's those traditions, that you start here and then you're watching the game on TV of the Curse in Colorado Springs, and then all of a sudden you hear, those 100 or 200 New Mexico United fans carrying those traditions to other stadiums.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exactly what you want for an organization that comes into a mid-major market, for the community to be so involved, and it really has united our state in such an incredible way.
Well, New Mexico United, having only played 1 match at home so far this season, had over 8,600 fans in attendance here just a couple of weeks ago. That is the highest attended USL match across the league so far this season. And of course, still under some COVID restrictions here in New Mexico, with the ballpark limited to just 75% capacity, with that likely changing here over the next couple of months. So it's not going to be long until this place is rocking once again. We saw them do it in 2019, over 15,000 here at Isotopes Park a couple of times, leading the league in attendance, just under 13,000. And as an opposing player, we've heard Kalen Ryden talk about it. He's played here against New Mexico United back in 2019. That is one of the big reasons you want to move to a club like this.
Yeah, you want to be a part of an organization that has community support. And I think what Coach Lassane and the ownership group here, they've also put together a group of really amazing men that behave fantastic in the community.
And that getting a little dangerous, but Mustafa goes to goal, and let's see what our official has to say. It's reaching for the pocket, and it's a red card shown to Austin Yearwood as he took out Kairu Mustafa. And that is a straight red, Heather.
If you're the last offender and you take a player out, but I don't think he was, it'll be interesting to see the replay. I still thought Tambakis was behind the ball.
That is a very interesting decision. And now for the second week in a row, New Mexico United going to have to play significant minutes down a man.
Yeah, and you already see Loudoun United going over to the bench here. They're probably going to adjust some tactics and see if they can occupy that space quickly.
Well, and from a coach's perspective, you go down a man in the 24th minute. What's going through your mind?
Yeah, it's without question, it's something that Coach Lassane has worked on. Here's the replay of it.
I didn't really see a whole lot, but our official on the field did.
I'm struggling with that one. I'm struggling with that one. If he did touch him, I also don't think it was a straight red card. Not even close.
And that red card is brought to you by Roadrunner Law Firm. When you've been fouled in a car crash, call your legal home team, Roadrunner Law Firm. As the black and yellow faithful here at the lab voicing their displeasure with the decision. But it is Austin Yearwood sent off in the 23rd minute.
You can see Kaylin Ryden coming in now and making some adjustments, some orders from Coach Lassane, and try and get these guys organized.
Well, and coming into this one, you and I were both under the impression that we were going to see a number of goals scored. I think that's going to help that sentiment ring true here this evening.
There are times when you do wish you had the VAR to review some calls. There are other times when you're a fan that it doesn't go your way, but.
This Fiesta Auto Group free kick. It's Giovanni Bolivar standing over this one, and this is in some dangerous territory. Here's Bolivar, and that was rising the entire way.
I think you saw last week when United went down a player that they really united around it. They really rallied around it, and it'll be interesting to see if they can do that again, because it does take a lot out of you physically, but this is a group of guys that has the character to do it.
The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ plus community. Through the Forever Proud project, the USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forever-proud.
It looks like Josh Suggs has slid into the back line. Still 3 in the back, 4 across the midfield, and it looks like possibly 2 up top.
And it looks as though we're going to be seeing Harry Swartz entering into the fold for New Mexico United, but not just yet. As Tambakis gets that away, here's Moreno. And the foul is going to be called against Armando Moreno. And the crowd here at the lab is getting a little distressed, I'd say.
Yeah, it's you feel it coming. You feel it coming. It looks like they're taking off a forward. Devin Sandoval coming off.
As we have a look here at this TLC replay, as Moreno just steps in. Bolivar looked to maybe have taken an elbow to the back of the head there as he was going down, and Moreno stepped in. So we have another look at it here. And that's quite a shot taken there. So we'll hope that he is all right. But yeah, you mentioned that Devin Sandoval comes off. So that's going to lead Brian Brown leading the line now for New Mexico. And Brown, he's a true number 9. So I don't think that's much of an issue. It's going to be in the midfield where New Mexico United has essentially sacrificed a man now.
Yeah, one up top, but he's a player that can still stretch you with his athleticism, and he's shown some quality to finish in the past couple games. So there'll still be opportunities. We're just going to have to put them away when we get them.
Brian Brown out of Sandy Bay, Jamaica. So he said scored on his black and yellow debut just a couple of weeks ago here on this very same pitch. As we're back underway. Garay looks to be all right. That ball played forward for Green, and just a little too much on that one.
Oftentimes a team that's a player up will start pushing numbers forward, and there's chances for counterattacks, which you saw against Colorado Switchbacks last week. So it's something that even though you have a player advantage, you don't want to give up a great opportunity to the other team either.
Brown trying to work his way out in between 4 Loudoun players, eventually dispossessed. Back now for Green. And now Loudoun, they're going to be able to do exactly what they want to do, and that's settle in possession. Garay. Mel looking to play it forward. Finds Samake. That one stays in. Here's Samake. He's picked up by Harry Swartz, the substitute. That ball sent away by Sam Hamilton.
It looks like Swartz is coming in as a right back, which is a little bit, different position for him, normally playing a wing back for New Mexico United, but he'll be great there as well.
Bruce has slid up into the midfield for New Mexico United. Well, and you said it, last week New Mexico were in a similar position, playing a man down for majority of that second half. It was Daniel Bruce scoring the deciding goal, not necessarily a deciding goal, but really the insurance goal late in stoppage time. He'll be looking to add to that tally here tonight. Akwe. Garay plays it forward for Green. And for as much as Loudoun went through Mustafa in the first half of last week's game against Red Bulls 2, he has not nearly seen as many touches.
He's a special player. I think he's a player that we'll see at some point, probably playing for DC United. But 1v1 artist, excellent with service. Almost got a chance there if that one would have floated over.
Here's Rivas now. New Mexico looking to counter. Bruce tried to hit a little 1-2 with Brian Brown and just out of his reach.
You can see a change in thought process for United already. They've dropped into like a 4-4-1, and they're going to sit in now and pick their chances, where I think they started the game kind of playing aggressive and pressing high and trying to get forward early. So quick adjustment by them, and one that's going to settle the game in a great way.
Ku Di Pietro looking for the run of Mustafa, and that's the captain, Josh Suggs. Tambakis, he's a sliding grab to prevent that going out for a corner. Tambakis, he started all 4 matches so far for New Mexico United this season in place, obviously with Cody Mizell making his departure to New York City FC of MLS. Making his way into the 18. Most recently was Mizell.
Yeah, I think Cody was a fan favorite quickly here in New Mexico. So big shoes for Tambakis to come into, but he's proven his value quite quickly with some great little saves in the box and a great presence. Big tall guy in the goal.
Coming into this one, he had 12 saves on 16 shots faced. And that ever so elusive first clean sheet of this season still has not happened for New Mexico just yet. "32 minutes gone by. Tyler Ortega here, joined tonight by UNM women's soccer head coach Heather Dyke. Thank you for tuning in here on ESPN+. A battle of the two Uniteds. Again, this is the first interconference matchup for New Mexico. So they'll have a few more on the long season. Hartford Athletic making the trip down to Albuquerque, as well as New Mexico venturing out and playing Louisville later on in October. That one is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, another electric environment and a club that's done quite well in the USL.
A new facility, Lynn Family Stadium, a beautiful soccer-specific stadium built there in Louisville. The New Mexico United fans are going to be watching that game and saying, I can't wait till we've got a home of our own.
Another place to fill up, just sports-specific for soccer. It would go well here.
Garay plays it up for Green. There's Green on the near side. Finds Sergi and has that poked away. Falls to Mustafa, and Suggs is all over that one. It goes out for a corner. Another Bank of America corner kick.
You can see in the box here, there's a lot of attention from New Mexico United on Sergi. He has a strong presence in the air, and they're making sure not to lose him every single time.
Ku Di Pietro plays the cross in, and looked like it was Sam Hamilton who made first contact with that. And these are going to be some really good aerial duels. A lot of height on the back line for United. A lot of height in the attacking front for Loudoun. DeShields plays the long ball, looking for Samake, and too heavy of a first touch. Rivas has loads of space here. Opts for Daniel Bruce. Bruce looking for the long ball, looking for the run of Armando Moreno. Oh, and Suggs coming in to make the interception, but just gives it right away.
Every time Daniel Bruce touches the ball, the crowd is yelling Bruce. They're not booing him. It always takes me a little bit back.
And Daniel Bruce playing his college ball at UNC Charlotte. Actually, when he started for New Mexico United in season 1 of the club in 2019, that was actually not his first time actually playing in New Mexico. He played against the University of New Mexico Lobos in college, who actually play right across the street.
Devin Sandoval, an alumni from that program.
Yeah, Devin Sandoval unfortunately had to make an early exit for New Mexico United, but really has been the face of the franchise. He was the first player signed in New Mexico United history, having previously played for Real Salt Lake in the MLS and more recently with Atlanta United 2. And that's a big, big thing, you know, especially when you're starting a new franchise like this, Heather, in an otherwise, you know, a new market. You bring home one of your own. And for Devin Sandoval, you know, we know he's a real quiet guy. He likes to stay out of the spotlight, but he understands his duty as the face of the franchise for United.
He does. He's proud of his playing career here. He's proud to be born and raised here, and I think sometimes he's a little bit out of his comfort zone as being the face, but to bring back one of your own and a player that was part of a storied UNM men's soccer program is a pretty special thing, and I think something that really has rallied the community.
When he did score the first ever goal in United franchise history here at the Lab in season 1, and that is a moment that will live in time forever for New Mexico United. As Azira steps in to intercept that, Suggs plays it over. Rivas thought about Daniel Bruce on the run and eventually plays it back. Here's Harry Swartz. Swartz has a couple of assists on this young season. As we said in the pregame, he's been a brilliant addition to Troy Lessane's side.
There's players that come in and the players around them all of a sudden get better, you know, and I think Harry's one of them. He does a lot of the dirty work. He gets up and down the line quickly. His vision is outstanding, and you just never see him stop. Those are players that are fun to be around.
Moreno. Azira now. Recently retired from international football did Michael Azira, having played for the Ugandan national team. Here's Rivas. He's got options, goes for Swartz, gets it right back. Azira now. And that was just a miscommunication there, it seems, between he and Sergio Rivas, and that ball is out. Samake unable to keep that in play.
The first real bout of possession, though, for New Mexico United after they, you know, have gone a man down. So a positive sign for them that they're starting to find their footing a little bit here.
USL on ESPN continues with a midweek rivalry matchup on ESPN Deportes Thursday, June 3rd. Copa Tejas returns when El Paso Locomotive FC visits Austin Bold FC for a 9 p.m. Eastern contest in the Lone Star State. It's El Paso and Austin on ESPN Deportes Thursday, June 3rd at 9 p.m. Eastern. Florida comes out to clean that one up. "38 minutes gone by so far, Heather. What's your assessment of Loudoun and what they've been trying to do?
You know, they've been a little bit more direct than I anticipated. They're really trying to, you know, identify that long ball into the wing space, and you see their front runners trying to, you know, exploit that in behind. But you know, they've been successful doing it. So surprising to me, they've been a little bit more possession-oriented in their last 2 games, but the direct play here has been effective.
Gray, he'll play it back to Mel. And now I ask you that question on the flip side, although obviously for Troy Lessane, plans have changed.
Plans have changed, yeah, but you know, you asked what will be the plan here, and clearly they have one. They went into it quickly. All the players knew how to adjust, and kudos to the coaching staff for making that so quickly. The emotions are high when you lose a player, so to be able to settle in and kind of get control back here is, you know, a really good sign.
That is head coach and technical director Troy Lesane in his 3rd season at the helm. Made the play-in round in 2019 in his 1st season as a head coach, and last year advancing to the 2nd round of the playoffs, where New Mexico United lost to their rival El Paso Locomotive in penalty kicks. So Troy, he's advanced further and further each year, and you know, Heather, you and I were wondering, you know, exactly how much more time he might have here in Albuquerque, as he's just a tremendous coach.
He's been unbelievable, and I hope he's here you know, for as long as we can keep him. But you also want for really good coaches to get opportunities to coach at higher levels, and Troy is most certainly capable of doing that.
Did spend 4 seasons with the Charlotte Independents before New Mexico United. Spent the 2014 season with the Vancouver Whitecaps, serving as an assistant coach. As that is the head coach for the visitors, it's Ryan Martin in his 3rd year at the helm of Loudoun. As that shot put on frame, and it's Bolivar opening up the scoring here in the 40th minute with a wonder strike. And that one seemed to have caught New Mexico United off guard.
I'm not sure if you told the goalkeeper where that was going, he could have gotten there. What a strike.
It's Giovanni Bolivar scoring for Loudoun here in the 40th minute. Tambakis visibly upset. And now, if you're United, I mean, you were already in trouble going down to 10 men, but now you're facing the deficit. It's right before half. As we have a look here at this TLC replay, Bolivar strikes it wonderfully. And from a coaching perspective, Heather, now what's your message when you're down to 10 men, down by 1?
I think it'll be really interesting to see. I mean, other than that, they've eliminated their chances, you know, going down to 10 players. So my guess is they'll stay with their plan until halftime, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Lesane come out after halftime and take some chances and try and get one back. He's shown that mentality his entire time here. He likes to score goals.
You know, and I've previously discussed that with Troy, and, you know, he says, I like to play my style, and sometimes that's to a fault, but certainly the Electric Turquoise have the work cut out for themselves.
This is a difficult place to come in and hold the lead. And these fans and these players and what Coach Lesane has built here, they're going to fight back. You know they're going to fight. They do that every single game. So we'll just have to watch for how they choose to do it.
Well, and right before half, a big swing in momentum. Here's Moreno. The ball just kind of got stuck there for Armando Moreno and battling it out. Outnumbered, he loses possession. Here's Ku Di Pietro. Mustafa was expecting that ball, but it's eventually dispossessed there. It's Kalen Ryden that stepped in to poke that one away. Swartz.
We had just spoken to Al-Mustafa being a little bit quiet, and as good as that finish was, his you know, cutting across the face of the goal there to occupy that space opens up the ability for the forward to finish on the first time. Really unbelievable run.
Well, and New Mexico United will have to wait another week to find that first clean sheet of the 2021 season. Had a number of clean sheets last year with Cody Mizell between the sticks. As we said, he has since moved on to greater pastures.
Clean sheets are underrated as long as the score on the other side's higher than 1, right? They've been doing that okay.
Here's Azira now, just turns it back for Kalen Ryden.
It's a decision you make too, and I think that's part of the reason that New Mexico United has struggled a little bit with some of the clean sheets. But when you go 3 in the back, you're going to give up more opportunity. It's just part of it, but you're going to create more opportunity.
Here's Moreno, finds Brian Brown. Bit heavy of a first touch there from Brown. Azira now. Azira! And that was rising the whole way from the Ugandan.
That's a defensive player getting excited because you're open in the box and shooting a little too hard. life here from New Mexico United, though, which is, that's how they're going to respond. They're never going to stop playing hard.
As we take another look here at this TLC replay, it was Michael Azira going for a worldie there. Green tries to poke that one forward for Mustafa. Azira goes to ground. Here's Bolivar, the goal scorer. And that one deflected. Couldn't tell if it was Ryden or Suggs that got in to deflect that shot. It's another Bank of America corner kick coming up here for Loudoun United. It's Garay. Takes his time walking over to the corner flag. Just opposite play it short. Coup Di Pietro now. Now Bruce just clears the danger. Well, and if you're New Mexico United here, Heather, you got to get out of the half without conceding another.
Yeah, and then it allows you time to, how do you want to attack? Where is the space going to be? How do you want to adjust? I think the immediate adjustment when you go down a player is don't give up goals. Try to defend, try to eliminate space. And they've done that. But now you're going to have to find out a way to get one back in the second half and then a way to find a second one. And I think Rivas is going to be a key to that. And Moreno, they were having some success in the first half, and now they've become sort of defensive oriented. That will be the key for Coach Lassane, is how do you find those guys getting forward a little bit more, not just defending all half.
Here's Coup Di Pietro, works his way around Michael Azira. Coup Di Pietro, left-footed strike, and that one blocked. So we now have word there will be 3 minutes of New Mexico Pinon coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. That is still my favorite read. And New Mexico Pinon Coffee coming up with a partnership with New Mexico United. They just, in fact, unveiled the Somos Unidos blend. It's the first official blend of coffee for the club. Sergei has Ryden all over him. Here's Moreno. Moreno taken down. No foul called. There was a foul called, excuse me.
This could be a great chance for New Mexico United to try and get one on frame, maybe tie it up before the half, sneak one.
You do have some big targets in there as far as Brian Brown and Kalen Ryder and also Sam Hamilton. Can't discount Amando Moreno. He's already got a headed goal in this year. Might be the shortest player on the pitch, but obviously knows how to finish. And Josh Suggs is going to run that one over. Receives it right back. Cross in from Suggs. Back post. Ryden heads it back. Hamilton. And Florida eventually comes out to claim that one.
Suggs would like to have that one back. Just overhit it a little bit, which is unusual for him on that left foot. Normally his services are pretty pinpoint.
Well, and it was a little strange just off the free kick routine. It looked like Rivas wasn't quite ready for that little run over.
And maybe it was planned because it ended up being effective, but you're right, it looked a little bit rushed.
Green, and that through ball escapes him.
Defensively, Josh Suggs has had an excellent half over on that side. Really kept it quiet.
Yeah, for all the success that, as we previously noted, Mustafa had last week, he's really been quite contained through this first 45.
Yeah, and you can see Suggs really trying to arrive when Mustafa receives the ball and not let him get faced up. He's been excellent doing it.
And that is the end of half number one. It is the visitors on top at Isotopes Park by way of a Giovanni Bolivar goal as Loudoun United lead 1-0. Heather, real quick, what did you see in that first half?
I wish we would have seen two teams playing at full pace, because that was an exciting start to the game. But really looking forward to see how New Mexico United's going to come out at half, and alternatively how Loudoun's going to try and keep this lead.
As we are approaching halftime here, halftime is presented to you by Smith's Fresh for Everyone. We're going to go ahead and step aside. We'll be back here in just a couple of minutes.
What are you doing?
Trying to make this thing work.
It works! Yeah, let's go!
For over 50 years, BIOS has been proudly serving New Mexico. We love being a part of this community and the New Mexico United family, and helping everyone from homeowners to home builders create a space that's both beautiful and practical. Shopping local is about more than getting a great deal. It's about supporting your community, your neighbors, your friends. Visit BIOS in Albuquerque and see how shopping local supports your New Mexico community.
Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler Ortega joined tonight by Heather Dyke. We are at halftime as Loudoun United in front of New Mexico United by way of a 40th minute goal from Giovanni Bolivar. And this game started out, Heather, real quick. It was fast-paced, both teams getting up and down the field, but then Austin Yearwood given a red card in the 23rd minute that sees New Mexico United down to 10 men for the rest of the match. You know, they just did this last week, so it's going to be interesting to see the way that they're able to handle that, especially conceding just minutes before the halftime break. We're going to step aside. When we return, we'll be going through our looks around the league and just checking in elsewhere.
I did get an interesting text from someone in the Phoenix organization talking about how big and physical that game was.
I love that he shows up.
Maybe they didn't necessarily know it was going to be just like that. I think they got a good taste. By the way, in case you're wondering, Forrest Lasso is competing for the Summer Olympics in gymnastics. Just wanted you to know. What you got next?
Lee Cohen, he was part of that routine.
Bring it to me.
Forrest Lasso, the defender of the year, leaping over the ad boards and pirouetting his way toward the dugout.
Brought down one time, what a strike! Dion, he now has a brace. Into the back net, Dylan Maris.
He's looked slow.
And a goal there by El Paso.
You have to be able to keep a ball if the number's down, because if not, the back can't join the attack.
In the 2019 Reader's Choice Awards from the Albuquerque Journal, Sandia Resort and Casino was voted Albuquerque's favorite casino. Best customer service, best entertainment venue, best slot machines and poker room, best variety of table games, best rewards program, and best golf course. Best buffet, favorite nightclub, favorite casino. Albuquerque, you deserve the best. Sandia Resort and Casino, close to home, far from ordinary.
This is where we keep our memories. We've shared so many adventures.
Oh, cool.
Those sounds, shapes, those special places. We've missed them.
Sounds good.
We're ready for some new adventures.
And so is New Mexico.
Let's go.
Welcome back to Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park. We are at halftime, brought to you by Smith's, fresh for everyone. Let's go ahead and have a look here around the league. We've got some news and notes, all of this presented by Duke City Cares, your medical family. As on the New Mexico United front, Sam Hamilton was named to Team of the Week this week for week number 5. Alex Tambakis was the backup goalkeeper selection on the Team of the Week. And Daniel Bruce, as we mentioned previously, bringing home a second consecutive Goal of the Week award for New Mexico United with that banger that we saw in the pregame in the 97th minute. And now we have a look at the standings here in the Mountain Division. It's RGV standing atop the mountain with 3 wins in their 4 games played, sitting on 9 points. Second is San Antonio FC with 2 wins in their 4 games played, 7 points. It's New Mexico United in third with 7 points through 4 games, having won their previous 2. Now as we look around, these games going to be tomorrow on ESPN Plus. You have Atlanta United 2 taking on Birmingham Legion. That kickoff at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time, followed by Sporting Kansas City 2 taking on El Paso Locomotive. That is another interconference match, Eastern and Western, and that one kicking off at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. And then the nightcap, you have Austin Bold hosting Tacoma Defiance at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Scoreboard around the league, we've got Louisville City trailing at the half to Indy 11 2-1. The Miami FC up 2-1 at half on Charlotte Independence. At halftime, goalless between OKC Energy and Memphis, and San Antonio holding a 1-0 lead over RGV. Looking at the upcoming schedule now for New Mexico United, they will be at Real Monarchs on June 4th, and then you've got 2 games back-to-back here at the Lab. It's going to be Pride Night against Austin Bold FC on Saturday, June 12th, and then they'll be taking on San Antonio just a couple days later on Wednesday, June 16th. They'll be back to Widener Field to see Switchbacks FC, and then traveling back out to Zions Bank Stadium out in Utah. We're going to step aside for just a few more minutes. Second half coming up.
Hate bones? Love saving money? B-Dubs gives you more with buy one, get one free boneless wings on Boneless Thursdays. So keep the bones in your wallet and out of your chicken. The win-win value lineup at Buffalo Wild Wings. Get takeout or delivery.
This one's for all the parents whose idea of a big night out is a 15-minute drive to a takeout window. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
The Memorial Day savings event is going on now at American Home Furniture and Mattress. Save up to 30% store-wide and take advantage of special financing. Shop the largest in-stock selection of furniture in New Mexico. Choose from living room, dining room, bedroom, mattresses, and more. Plus, now offering free front door delivery. The only locally owned full-service furniture store in New Mexico. We guarantee you'll pay less. American Home Furniture and Mattress.
What if we were wrong this whole time? Wrong in thinking that joy happens only at the end, after the sacrifice, after the win. What if happiness has always been there, fueling the run toward greatness? What if joy is the whole game, not just the end game?
Can I kick it? Can I kick it?
Get your associate's degree in 17 months with C&M Online. A fast degree, no hidden fees, books included, all at an affordable price. All of your courses can be completed online. Take the next step in your career. Get your degree from C&M Online.
Some friends that are going to be sitting like right around here. Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to Isotopes Park. New Mexico United debuting their electric turquoise kits here tonight, Heather, and it hasn't started out that great.
Not the way that you wanted this game to go, not the way either head coach wants the game to go. You want to be the game to be played with a full roster, full lineup, and your best versus their best, and see if you can find a way to win.
You know, and coming out of that red card, New Mexico United did adjust rather well as we have a look at some of these first half highlights. Starting off here with that red card is a bit of a questionable decision from the official, Chris Ruska, as he's handed out a number of cards here so far today, but immediately showing up, showing the red to Austin Yearwood as Mustafa got forward. And here it was the free kick from Giovanni Bolivar off target. He would eventually be on target as he went to his old faithful right leg there, but just unable to keep that one down. New Mexico United dodging a bullet there, but here again it was Mustafa who plays it across, and Bolivar just hits it one time. A beauty of a curler, and Tambakis really didn't have a chance at that one.
No, that almost hit both bars on the way in. That's just an unbelievable finish.
And that was the only goal scored in the first half, as again Loudoun lead New Mexico United down here in Albuquerque 1-0. But as we were saying, Heather, going out of that red card, New Mexico United adjusted well. What further adjustments are you expecting to see from Troy Lesesne in the second half?
He's going to have to pick his moments. What you don't want to do is try and score too early and put your players in a position where you're giving up too many chances. They are down a player, so he's going to have to, sit in, try to eliminate opportunities, and then at some point pick when you're going to take some chances and get some numbers forward. Yeah, and I think for Loudoun, you've seen Samake getting forward a lot on that left side, a little bit opposite of what they did in their previous game where they went through on Mustafa quite a bit. And if you're Loudoun, what's the game plan going into the next 45? Yeah, if you're Loudoun, you're going to try to kill the game. Keep the ball. Don't let New Mexico United have any chances. Make sure that if you do get caught in possession that you get your numbers back behind the ball quickly and press your numbers up. There's never a reason that the player on the ball shouldn't have pressure on them. As Troy Lesesne has already made a couple of substitutions, as we saw Devin Sandoval, who started the match, went to the bench following that red card. He was replaced by Harry Swartz. Swartz has moved over to the right wing back spot. Josh Suggs has slipped into the back line there for New Mexico United, but still a lot of attacking options. And if you're in control, Heather, what changes do you make? I think what Coach Lesesne did was right. You sit 2 blocks of 4, you eliminate opportunities, and what I think you'll see at some point from him is he'll pull one of those defenders and throw another forward and potentially go to a 3-4-2 and see if they can't get one back. And you and I were talking just a moment ago off air. You mentioned maybe you'd like to see Brian Brown come off. Can you elaborate on that just a little bit? I think when you're down a player, what you need your forward to do is really hold the ball and let the team join the attack. You get so pinned into your own half that it makes it difficult to really join the attack. And a forward who can hold it for a little bit and really let players join underneath them can give you an opportunity to take more possession in the middle third. We see Chelo Martinez over on the New Mexico United sideline as he will be entering the match and replacing Michael Azira for New Mexico United. And that substitution is brought to you by REDW. There's no substitution for integrity. REDW, CPAs, and advisors. So Troy Lesesne bringing on another attacker to help with that attack there, Heather. And Chelo Martinez, he's a very creative playmaker in that midfield.
where he played for RGV the past couple of seasons, made 43 starts and 48 appearances, had 9 assists, and just last year created 18 chances, which was the most on the team.
An attacking-minded decision from Coach Lassane. I mean, he's a player that's going to try to get forward a little bit more than Azira was, who was just kind of sitting and defending the space in front of the back four there. And
we also see that Daniel Bruce has come off at the half as well, with Justin Schmidt checking in. So the back three now for New Mexico United, consisting of Justin Schmidt, Kalen Ryden, Sam Hamilton, and it looks like they're going to go back with the wingbacks with Suggs and Swartz now.
Yeah, Coach Lassane is here to win, and I admire it. That's a gutsy call. So 3 in the back, looks like either 4 or 5 in the midfield and 2 up top. He's going to see if we can get one back early.
Second half underway here as Chelo Martinez was looking for Suggs over on the left side.
A nice luxury to have your Defensive Player of the Year from 2 years ago coming off the bench.
Here's Kalen Ryden as he took that one away from Sammy Sergi. Falls to Justin Schmidt, and Schmidt's first pass is intercepted by Ku Di Pietro, who is limping a little bit after that one, and he's since gone to ground. And it looks like Loudoun are playing on for now, but eventually just play it out as it appears we may see a substitute coming on, or at least the athletic trainer, as Ku Di Pietro, as soon as he passed that, Heather, you could tell he tweaked something.
Yeah, he tweaked something, and he's staying down here a little bit. They're calling for the trainer, so hopefully nothing serious. He can continue to play. He's been a really good player for Loudoun tonight.
As we noted, the 2 subs, Chelo Martinez coming on for Michael Azira, and Justin Schmidt coming on for Daniel Bruce. Both of those substitutions brought to you by REDW.
You can see Coach Lassane is already starting to think that, you know, Loudoun's trying to milk the clock a little bit here, and it seems early for that. Hopefully it's not something that we're going to see as a trend this early.
Well, Ku Di Pietro is on his feet. He seems to be okay. Injuries, of course, the worst part of sports in general, but he's jogging. There's Harry Swartz, the Boston boy, who came over from Hartford Athletic. You know, in talking with him, he's like, these fans, like, I just can't believe how many of them there are.
This is something that the state has absolutely embraced, and it's been really incredible to be a part of as a fan and certainly just as a New Mexican.
That ball played forward for Samake. Picked up by Hamilton, and he crosses that to the back post, and it's just played out by Justin Schmidt.
This corner kick brought to you by Bank of America.
It's another Bank of America corner kick. It looks like it'll be Garay coming over to take.
They've taken the last 2 short. It'll be interesting to see if they do that again and then try and find Sergi in the back of it.
He looks like he's going to be playing this one into the 18, and he is going towards the back post, but the official saw some contact, and the foul is called. So we have a look here at the first half stats brought to you by Duke City Cares, and Loudoun leading New Mexico United in shots 7-4, but tied in shots on target. Fairly equal in possession, which is a bit surprising to see. New Mexico United with the 1 offside call, 0 for Loudoun, and of course the red card for New Mexico United.
Neither goalkeeper had to come up too big in that half. I mean, it was quite a few shots, but none that were, you know, required to save other than the goal.
And this could get messy here for United. Here's Sergi. He's got Mustafa on the back, and unlucky there by Mustafa. Otherwise, Loudoun might be looking at a 2-goal lead. You know, and Sammy Sergi, his favorite player is Harry Kane, and looking like Harry Kane making that run and the cross there.
He does have a little Harry Kane in him. When he gets his chances, he puts them away.
Throw in here for United. New Mexico United, I should say. Both teams donning the United nickname. Loudoun being very aggressive here early on. As you said, that could leave them exposed at the back. Here's Suggs now on top of the 18. Suggs looking to play the cross with the left foot, and that is deflected out. Bank of America corner kick coming up. Suggs has put 6 crosses in so far this season coming into this game. That is the most for New Mexico United. So that tells you how big of a piece of the attack he is. As Chelo Martinez is over to take the corner. And Chelo can deliver an incredible ball from a set piece. Let's see where he tries to go with this one, near post, and no issue there. Rivas now will put one into the box, looking back post, and that just goes over Florida. The United players are asking if he got a touch, and the official rules that he did. Another Bank of America corner kick coming up.
An unbelievable ball from Rivas. Great service to the back post.
Yeah, and it was Moreno there, as well as Ryden, Hamilton, looking for his first goal of the season. And you just kind of have this feeling that a goal for New Mexico is coming. Here's Chelo. Back post, headed down, and Florida comes out to claim that one.
The green goalkeeping jersey from Florida is a little bit difficult to see from up here. He looks like a New Mexico United player.
Right, yeah, with these electric turquoise kits. The third kit for New Mexico United, making their debut here this evening.
The color turquoise, obviously, a huge symbol in the state of New Mexico, and for them to have these jerseys is kind of a great extra addition.
Well, and it goes away from their typical front of jersey sponsorship, and Meow Wolf, who's a New Mexico company. They just announced New Mexico True as a secondary kit partner. And then obviously you have Electric Playhouse, which is another local business here in Albuquerque. So, when New Mexico United says they're trying to be an agent of positive change and really unite the state of New Mexico, what better way to do that than to feature New Mexico brands across your 3 kits?
Yeah, their actions match their words, and they've done that since they've been here. So I haven't been to Electric Playhouse yet, but I've heard great things. It kind of opened during the pandemic, but I've heard really good things about it.
This is a Fiesto Auto Group free kick, and actually Electric Playhouse, once they open up once again, they're going to be hosting official watch parties for New Mexico United, so you have to make your way out to one of those.
Oh, I'll be there.
It's Chelo Martinez. It looks like he was going for goal.
2 corners and a set piece from Martinez that are all quite dangerous. Really good server.
Chelo comes to New Mexico United from the Rio Grande Valley down in Texas from Brownsville. He's made 2 starts and 4 appearances so far for New Mexico United.
You can see Loudoun United really trying to keep the play on this side now and just not allow for any, switch of the point of attack. It's the only time they've really gotten themselves in trouble is when they allow New Mexico United to switch the point.
Here comes Green. And that ball cut out by Harry Swartz. And Swartz now off to the races. That ball played forward for Moreno. Will he win the foot race? He will not. As the 2 players come shoulder to shoulder, Timothy Mell didn't fancy that too much. Quick restart. And Swartz just wasn't ready for the return ball there from Hamilton. Look at the high press here from New Mexico United.
Yeah, you can see they're taking their chances with
Suggs! And just sends it wide, does Josh Suggs.
I thought he had it. What a great ball and good finish on the right foot of Josh Suggs.
Right, yeah, and that was Harry Swartz playing the cross into the box. That is his 6th cross of the season. But Swartz just not giving up on that ball, as I think some of the Loudoun players had kind of given up and thought that it had gone out, but there's Suggs on the half volley.
New Mexico United crowding the goalkeeper here, just putting a lot of numbers inside the 6. Potentially looking for second chances and drop balls in there.
Cello over to take the corner kick once again. Bank of America corner kick. Moreno will run out to meet him short, but he ends up putting it to the top of the 6 anyway. Loudoun deals with the danger. Here's Swartz now. He's dispossessed. Mustafa now is off to the races. He's being chased by Justin Schmidt. Schmidt helped out, and eventually United see the trouble away.
Great recovery there by Justin Schmidt to keep the ball outside and not let Mustafa cut across the face of the goal.
Martinez into Rivas. Spreads it over for Swartz now. On the near side, Harry Swartz.
Incredible amount of confidence that Coach Lesane has in his team to come out in this attacking formation and try and get numbers forward, and you see it already. They're creating some mismatches and some opportunities, and you know, I feel what you're saying. I think we're on the verge of getting one back here.
Yellow card is brandished as Armando Moreno goes down. So we have another look here on this TLC replay. It was Timothy Mell coming in, and that is a Roadrunner Law yellow card. If you've been fouled in a car crash, call your legal home team, Roadrunner Law Firm. So that is a 56-minute yellow card for Mel. And with him being the anchor of that back three, it's going to be interesting to see how he proceeds for the remainder of this match as Cello plays that one into the box, and it's punched away by Florida.
Yeah, Florida read that one really well, and if you're going to come out and not make not catch the ball, what you want to do is make sure that you either clear it or it goes out of bounds. There's no second shot, so great play there by Florida.
Florida looks to be shaken up. As the trainer will be called on here. Don't let a workplace injury keep you on the sidelines. Ben Sherman Law will fight to get you the compensation you deserve for a free case evaluation. Call Ben Sherman Law today. And as you said, maybe a little bit of gamesmanship here from Loudoun. They understand coming into this game, Heather, they're pointless on this young season. So to make the trip out to a hostile environment, to one of the top teams in the Western Conference at the Lab on a Saturday night in front of over 8,500 fans, this would be a huge, huge win for Loudoun.
It'd be an enormous win and a huge confidence boost for them who, like we mentioned in the pregame, that they played quite well in their first 2 games and didn't end up getting a result. So for them to get 3 points in New Mexico, that would be big for them, a big confidence booster. So I think you're going to see this all half, and everyone hates the gamesmanship until you have a lead, and then you want to run times off the clock. So
it looks like we may have a substitute for Loudoun as Sammy Sergi has made his way to the bench. Checking in is defender Robert Dambro. He is number 22 on your screen. So I think Loudoun may be feeling the pressure just a little bit, Heather, pulling off their number 9 and inserting another defender.
yeah, I don't think you make that decision unless you feel the heat a little bit. I mean, if they had easy control of this half, you'd probably stay where you are. And for them to make that decision and pull off, in my opinion, their most dangerous striker, it is a lot of respect to New Mexico United.
So that substitution was brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. As Harry Swartz goes down, seems to have taken a bit of a knock there. And a yellow card is shown to Gausu Samake is a Roadrunner Law Firm yellow card in the 60th minute.
The last thing that Loudoun United wants to do is to also get a red card. And with 2 players now sitting on yellows, it makes the game a little bit more interesting in how they approach their defensive stance.
As we have a look at that TLC replay. Tonight's replay is brought to you by TLC Plumbing. TLC is the leader in New Mexico when it comes to home and business service needs. We've got another Fiesta Auto free kick here. And the chances are starting to mount now for New Mexico United, Heather. And as we said, you just kind of get that feeling that one may be in the cards here.
They've been clinical all year on set pieces and corners. And, you know, the more they get, the higher the odds become they're going to put one of these away.
Cello gives the signal looking for the back post, and that was up and over the heads of, I believe, Kalen Ryden and Justin Schmidt.
Substitution brought to you by REDW. Entering the game for New Mexico.
And we see
14, Ilya Illich.
another attacker enter on. It's Ilya Illich for New Mexico United as he replaces Brian Brown. You alluded to that change being in the cards maybe even at halftime.
Yeah, I think Brown is such a good player at attacking the space and behind with his movement and his runs. But that's difficult to do when you're down a player because the opponent always has the numbers up. So a player like Illich that can hold the ball and bring in the players underneath him, I think could allow for New Mexico United to hold possession a little bit in their final third.
That ball is headed away by Mel. Also, housekeeping note, there was another substitution for Loudoun that occurred just a couple of minutes ago. It's number 19, Landry Nanenhusu, the 6'4" midfielder. Ball played forward for Suggs, and Suggs with just great control. Still in possession, and eventually has that one cleared away. But Suggs took on 2 of the Loudoun players and nearly won.
Unbelievable ball from Kalen Ryan in the back, too.
It was a throw in there for United as Schmidt hooks up with Suggs. Cross goes into the box, and it's cleared out by Mel. Schmidt, another New Mexico native from right here in Albuquerque, graduated from Volcano Vista High School out on the west side. You know, Heather, and you may know this better than any of us here, but there is a wealth of soccer talent right here in this state.
There is, and you're seeing a lot of it on the field tonight, and you see a lot of it through the USL. Quite a few players playing in the MLS, and a big testament to the youth coaches in this environment and the community. People love soccer here. It's a very much soccer-oriented state, and you can see that with the fans full tonight and the passion that they have for this team.
There's 5 New Mexican players on this roster here this evening. Sandoval, Suggs, Schmidt, Rivas, and Alex Touche. Samake. Ku Di Pietro. Plays that one forward for Mustafa. And that's a kick save from Tambakis. It's a big save there.
Big save, and that's what you've seen from Mustafa in the highlights. He has the ability to turn the corner and deliver great crosses, so huge save and good recovery by Justin Smith there.
Logan Panchit recently entered for Loudoun. He's over at the corner as we have a look at this TLC replay. It's Panchit here to deliver this one for Loudoun. Goes back post, it's Ryden that makes first contact. Samake, cross. Panchit. Slides it over for Garay. Now Samake. Picked up by Swartz. Hamilton providing support. This ball just bouncing around between the two sides. Garay now. Garay chips it up over the top. And that is another big save from Tambakis.
Huge save. If he doesn't come off his line there, he gets chipped. And you can see in those situations, New Mexico United has to drop to a back five. So when they do try to get forward, they really have no options. What they don't want to do is let Loudoun United really establish that kind of possession in our half again.
Mel plays it over to Akwe. Looking for the run of Mustafa. That one just goes out, and it's Josh Suggs to take the throw in here for New Mexico. Illich. Over to Rivas. Had Garay on his back. Eventually the foul called. Rivas quick to retake it. The official didn't really care for that one too much.
It's really good hold-up play from Illich, but we need him to do that higher. He needs to establish a higher position on that back line for Loudoun United and see if we can't, keep that possession a little bit further up the field.
Ilya Illich out of Belgrade, Serbia. Previously played for Indy 11 in 2019 and 2020, where he had 13 appearances and 4 starts. Only played 30 minutes so far for New Mexico United and 2 appearances as a substitute. Here's Josh Suggs. Loves to get down on that left foot, and that one just sizzles over the crossbar.
Pretty amazing to see Josh Suggs play a wing back, down a player, and still have that kind of energy to turn a corner and put service in. He's putting in some effort tonight for New Mexico United.
.67 minutes gone by. Tyler Ortega here, joined by Heather Dyke this evening on ESPN Plus. As New Mexico United are searching for their first goal of the night and the equalizer. Will it come here? It's Moreno. And that one just out of reach from Ilya Illich.
He'll want that one back. He kind of got caught in between a cross and a shot there. I think if he would have held that a little longer, Suggs was coming.
Here's Jermaine Florida. Seems to be all right from that knock he took earlier. Samake, he's proved to be a handful all evening for United. Played over to Mel. And that just a miscommunication there from Akwe.
Yeah, and good pressure from New Mexico United. I mean, immediate pressure all over the field when you're down a player. That comes from energy. It comes from hard work, and it causes the opposing team for mistakes like that.
Illich gets that one back and tries to play it forward for Suggs, and Suggs now has space. Swartz is making the run into the box and tries to pick out Illich instead, and Loudoun able to come away with possession. Looking for Samake, and Sam Hamilton will be there. Here's Sergio Rivas. Hamilton now. Rivas. Into Illich. Finds Moreno. Plays it back. This is good link-up play for New Mexico. Cross in, and it's headed away by Mel. Cello does well to win that ball. Here's Cello. Plays it down for Suggs. Suggs with a nice touch. Suggs! And there's the equalizer! Ilya Illich scores his first goal for New Mexico United. And no, he doesn't, as the offside flag is up on the near side. And just wait a second until this crowd finds out that that goal does not stand. But leading up to that, Heather, was incredible stuff there from New Mexico.
Yeah, the build-up play, and Illich gets a lot of credit there. You saw him receive the ball and then connect with Moreno underneath him, which allowed New Mexico United to get more numbers in the box. And I think that's going to be the key. When you're down a player and you're crossing, with one less player in there, you have to be pinpoint.
Illich thought he had opened his United account, and boy, what a goal that would have been. New Mexico stay on the attack as that through ball just escapes Ilya Illich, and Florida is there. And I think the realization is starting to set in among the 8,500 plus fans here.
They couldn't see the flag go up for the smoke bombs, potentially. Josh Suggs, once again, though, he's just giving Loudoun United fits over here. Really driving to the end line and pulling crosses back, and that one finally picked out an open player. Really great ball.
Here's Rivas. Pokes it forward, gets it right back. Now Moreno back for Rivas. Sergio Rivas! And it's just deflected at the last second as Rivas looking to score in his third consecutive game. New Mexico is heading up here for another Bank of America corner kick, but as we see, that was just incredible footwork there from Sergio Rivas, but stepping in at just the last second to turn that one away was Robert Dambra.
Great ball from Moreno, good run by Sergio, and also I think you see Illich posting up. He's just kind of sitting and you know, literally posting up on Loudoun United's back line. And you see players playing off of him now, playing in and getting it back and finding second chances. So hopefully it's something that continues for Illich. It's really made an impact since he's come in.
It's Cu Di Pietro down again, receiving some attention from the athletic trainer. And I'd like to take this time to remind you that the United Soccer League, all 31 championship clubs and their players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change through the United Against Racism campaign, visit uslsoccer.com. And a chance of pobrecito echo throughout the lab. And that's some quality banter.
It's good banter. And maybe rightful currently.
And for our non-Spanish speakers that may be watching this broadcast, it's a term that basically means like, poor you. So I think we're just about ready to resume here as Chelo Martinez is over at the corner flag. So he delivers that one in and it's sent away. It falls to Harry Swartz, and
foul in the box.
Fouls called in the box against New Mexico United.
If they keep giving up those corners, Martinez, his service has been spot on. You're going to see one of those get put away.
As we have a look with this TLC replay once again, it's Bolivar that time going to ground in front of Kalen Ryden.
Tonight's attendance, 8,801.
8,801 fans here in attendance tonight, Heather, as the Lab has been rocking all evening. That is the highest attended match so far for New Mexico United this season, with this being their second, outdoing their first match by about 150 attendees. And while we've got some time, we'd like to mention SiriusXM Listen. The SiriusXM Listen free event is on now through June 8th. Catch 24/7 soccer, including USL All Access, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on SiriusXM FC Channel 157, plus hundreds of channels filled with entertainment. Download the SiriusXM app to hear it all free. Go to SiriusXM.com/freekick to learn more. Bolivar looks to be all right. As we have another sub for the red and white. It is Ku Di Pietro making his way off, and he's replaced by Michael Downs. That substitution brought to you by REDW, CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. Samake taking on Hamilton. He's double teamed, and Swartz able to poke that one away. Now Hamilton still has some work to do. Here's Husu. That one poked away by Sam Hamilton now. Thought about trying to pick out Josh Suggs, eventually decides on Illich, who gets that one right back. Through ball played forward. And now it's Bolivar who just couldn't control that one. And since Sammy Sergei's departure a few minutes ago, Bolivar has stepped up into that number 9 role for Loudoun. Mustafa plays it into Downs, the substitute. Samake, he's got Bolivar, and that cross is deflected out by Sam Hamilton.
Hamilton 3 plays in a row now, like just slows the play down and lets Harry Swartz come back and double team, wins the second play, and then just, you know, blocks the cross there. He's been outstanding as a right back tonight.
Less than 15 minutes remain of the 90 here with this Bank of America corner kick coming up for the red and whites. Taken short, here's Samake. Crosses it back post for Akwe. And to the delight of the curse behind Alex Tambakis, that one is out for a goal kick.
Starting to see some heavy legs for both teams tonight. You don't want to depend on the, you know, elevation, but you're starting to see it hit a little bit, and you're starting to see New Mexico United feel the fatigue of playing with 10 players.
Here's Rivas. And just left the ball behind there as he proceeded to move forward. Hamilton steps in to intercept that one. Cello goes to ground, and the foul is called.
Coach Lassane coming onto the field. He's going to get an earful from the ref right now.
And he may even get more than that, as the official Chris Ruska has shown Troy Lassane a yellow card. And yellow card brought to you by Roadrunner Law Firm. When you've been fouled in a car crash, call your legal home team, Roadrunner Law Firm. And Troy just trying to see play resume quickly. As that cross is played into the box and dealt with by Loudoun. Suggs, though, comes up with a big interception. Rivas now plays it forward. Moreno slid into from behind. Again, no foul called. These fans are starting to get a little frustrated, Heather. As you can feel the emotion starting to build up as the offside flag is up.
I think all any fan or any coach wants is for the game and the calls to go both ways fairly. And when you start to feel that that's not happening, yeah, you start to hear from the fans, and that's part of the great part of the game.
Swartz will throw it in here on the near side. Gets it into Hamilton. Cello, who will play it all the way back to Tambakis. Illich scoops that one forward. That was a savvy play. Ball just didn't get to where it needed to be. As Bolivar looked to have been in an offside position when that ball was played forward. Long ball from Tambakis looking for Swartz. Mustafa looks to get that one back, and he does, but Justin Schmidt is there to interrupt. And Martinez is dispossessed. This could be dangerous here for Loudoun. Here's Garay. Samake now. He's got Bolivar in the box. And Hamilton has just done so well on that outside, not allowing very many crosses to be played in. Here's Rivas. He's got Suggs making the run, and bad touch from Rivas. He's able to recover. Suggs now looking to beat Akwe. Good challenge. Suggs plays the cross, and that one goes out.
That one's a result of another 60-yard run by Josh Suggs. It just, at some point, the legs get heavy and you can't get your hips around it.
When Suggs, he sat on the ground for just a moment after that and just kind of stretched his calf, and now we're seeing one of the Loudoun players being stretched out, and it's going to be another visit out onto the pitch for the trainer.
Yeah, quite a few players hand on hips running over to get water. It is elevation. It is traveling across the whole country to come try and play. It does affect you. You never want to rely on it as a coach or a player, but it does affect you. So you're starting to see the game get stretched now both ways, and what you hope is that both teams can kind of settle back in and start to get possession of the ball again, and no injuries happen.
Well, and that's something you can speak to, of course, with what you usually do with your role as the head coach over at the University of New Mexico for the women's soccer team. You're coming fresh off an NCAA tournament appearance, which was out in North Carolina. How do you prepare your team for such a long trip?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of speaking to what Daniel Bruce said, is you try really hard just to make sure that you control what you can control, that you're hydrated, that you're rested, that you eat right. But it does affect you. And talking to our conference opponents all the time, they say, you know, the last 10 minutes playing in New Mexico is brutal. So we know that, and that's when we try and put our foot on the gas. And I think you're going to see that from New Mexico United here too, even though they have 10 players. Take some chances. You have nothing to lose. Throw the ball forward and see if you can't get one back.
Well, and we did see them do that just last Friday night at Widener Field in Colorado Springs. Daniel Bruce tacking one on late in stoppage time. It was the insurance goal that saw New Mexico United victorious 3-1 over Switchbacks, and they'll be looking for more of the same, although they do not have Daniel Bruce on the pitch as he was subbed out at halftime by Troy Lassane. Plenty of other offensive weapons out there nonetheless. Here's Ryden.
You can see both wing backs for New Mexico United now are starting to play higher and wider. They're just going to take their chances, and you have to at this point.
Here's Rivas. And you got to like your odds when you're talking about Josh Suggs and Harry Swartz.
Absolutely, and I mean, especially Josh Suggs tonight, but here it comes to Swartz now, and there's nobody behind him. So if you can take that touch forward, then you start to exploit that space, and that's where Josh Suggs has been so effective on the left wing tonight.
Hamilton trying to play that across to Rivas. And the ball played forward. It's going to be tracked down by Mustafa. He's marked by Justin Schmidt. Waiting for some help to arrive. Panchit, who plays it back. Poked away by Suggs. Here's Illich. Scott Moreno to his left. Illich now plays it across for Swartz. Rivas.
If you're Illich there and you pick your head up and you see more red jerseys than you do blue, you got to go negative, and it was smart there just to stop and build and let the team get forward. Great decision from him.
Sam Hamilton. And now we see another Loudoun player laying on his back, and it's looks to be a cramp there. You see all the United players making appeals to the official.
Yeah, and I think the issue here is that unless it's a head injury, the game doesn't have to be stopped. So for the referee to stop the game there is an interesting decision.
It's Kairu Mustafa that's down. And to be fair, Mustafa has put in a shift here tonight.
He has. He's been a very good player, and I think a player that we're going to be seeing at different levels as he moves forward.
Well, and it was recently noted today that he was called up by his national team in Niger and Africa for 3 upcoming international games. So that tells you the quality of a player no matter what nation you're from. If you're being called up to your national team, you've certainly got some potential.
Yeah, there's no greater honor than to represent your country, and you can see he's a player that would be effective and powerful for them.
And Troy Lesane a little bit animated there on the touchline. It looks like we may be seeing a substitution.
Substitution brought to you by REDW, entering the game for Loudoun, number 34, Abdelatif Abukura, for number 4.
And this substitution heading to the bench, it's Jeremy Garay, number 4, and he's replaced by Abdelatif Abukura from McLean, Virginia. Standing 5'9" midfielder is Abukura. And they showed number 4 on the substitute board, but I'm wondering if it's going to be Mustafa heading off.
I think he just went off on the side and they messed the board up. But this is why Coach Lesane is unhappy right now. Just more minutes ticking off the clock.
I mean, at this point, we may be seeing the 100th minute before the full-time whistle is blown. And that is a red card that's just been shown to Troy Lesane. As you could tell, he was frustrated. He'll jog off to the locker room. And he's getting a very warm reception from the black and yellow faithful in attendance here tonight. So that is from my count, the first career sending off for head coach Troy Lesane.
Yeah, and you could see him getting animated over there, but I understand why. I mean, you really do feel like we've added 8, 9 extra minutes onto the clock here, and that's up to the referees. That they need to get control of it.
As we are back underway here, and it's going to be assistant coach Zach Prince that is taking over for New Mexico United. Now, Zach Prince, no stranger to coaching the team. He did so on a couple of occasions last year when Troy Lesane was out. So Zach Prince will take the helm here for the final 5 minutes plus stoppage time. Bank of America corner kick coming up here. Martinez plays it in. That one looked rather dangerous.
Another corner.
The chance is starting to rack up more and more, Heather. Here's Martinez again. Header, and that's an excellent save from Florida. Here's Rivas back for Martinez now. A lot of bodies forward for New Mexico. Flicked forward by Suggs, and he just didn't get good enough contact on that one.
Two special saves by Florida there. That's really difficult to have to dive back across the face of goal when a ball is coming the opposite way.
Jermaine Florida, the 6-foot goalkeeper out of London. Spent some time training with West Ham out there in England, did Florida. Here's Swartz now. Over to Illich. Rivas. Cello.
New Mexico United with 4 in the box now.
Suggs plays a cross in. Headed away by Mel. A lot of bodies forward for New Mexico. A lot of bodies back for Loudoun. Here's Suggs. It's a cross to the back post, and now we're starting to see Kalen Ryden getting forward. Just an extra body in the box.
Nothing to lose at this point for New Mexico United. I mean, a 2-0 loss with 10 players or trying to tie it up, you might as well go for it.
So this long ball hit forward for Bolivar, and the offside flag is up. New Mexico will look to restart quickly here, and Sam Hamilton does just that. Here's Rivas now. Cello.
Kalen Ryden staying high, playing that central like an extra 9 now.
Ryden did score last year, and it happened to come against his former team up in Salt Lake. And of course it was a headed goal. And there's a nutmeg from Suggs. Moreno now. Illich scoops it forward, looking for Armando Moreno. And Illich is going to be called for the foul.
Smart foul there from Illich. You're just taking away the breakaway. Professional foul, slow the game down. If you didn't do it, you had a 1v1 situation over here. So great play.
So that is the full 90 minutes, Heather, and we've been informed that there are 10 minutes of New Mexico Piñon coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. You know, and I said it a few minutes ago, we might see the 100th minute before the full-time whistle is blown, and it seems as though we will here tonight.
I will candidly say I've never seen 10 minutes of stoppage time put on the clock, so rightful. Good decision.
Chance of Let's Go United ring out among the 8,800 fans in attendance here tonight. Schmidt finds Hamilton. Over to Swartz now. Swartz has sunk down just a little bit with Ryden playing forward. No foul called, and now Bolivar has an excellent chance to see this up to 2-0 and just makes a mess of it.
Yeah, I think when you see Tambakis coming off the line like that, his size and his stature and his timing of it, he just never gave a clear look at the goal.
Schmidt plays this one long.
I think with 2 in the back, they need to start doing that a little bit more. A lot of the possession right now is, you know, going across the field and not breaking any lines. And if you're going to commit that many plays forward, put the ball up there, take your chances, play for seconds, especially when you have a player like Illich and Kalen Ryden up top. And then let Sergio Rivas and Moreno find seconds and run a goal.
Looks like it's going to be a long throw-in coming here from Harry Swartz. It is flicked on. Here's Ilya Illich. Rivas looked to play it forward. Ryden has a go, and that is deflected. And again, this crowd is still waiting for that first goal here tonight for the home side. Suggs plays it forward. Kalen Ryden unable to maintain possession there, but Rivas collects that. Here's Schmidt back for Rivas. That's a good ball played forward for Armando Moreno. Moreno now. Here's Rivas in the box, and Acque sees that one out.
Great defending by Acque there. That's a difficult thing to do when you have a player like Sergio Rivas running at you, just to separate the body and the ball and ride that out of bounds.
Into the 94th minute we go. Loudoun United in the lead here in Albuquerque.
It just comes down to service right now. You have the numbers forward, you have open space, and it's one player picking their head up and really putting it on someone's head and allowing them to finish first time.
Swartz challenging there, and Swartz wins possession. Here's Hamilton, turns with it, and New Mexico United now concede possession. And that ball is going to roll out, and it's a New Mexico United throw-in as Abukura did everything he could to keep that in play. And the boos raining from the crowd as another one of the Loudoun players is down.
It's 2 times now that New Mexico United's almost given up kind of a transition opportunity, dribbling out of the back or trying to play short. I think this is really the point in the game where you get the ball forward and play a little bit more direct.
And while we've got a second, fans, follow New Mexico United and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+, home to the USL, MLS, Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Join the more than 12 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com. You know, you got to figure this is just going to add to the already added time. 10 minutes of added time. Back underway here. Here's Rivas looking to play a long ball. Ryden was there, but Florida pokes it away. Ball's bouncing around, falls to Garay. Downs plays that one forward. Samake looking for Bolivar. That was turned away by Cello.
If you're Loudoun United here, there's no point in crossing that ball. Just keep it, establish possession, your numbers up, run the clock down.
Abukar. And that is some fancy footwork from Bolivar as he was looking for his second of the night. And ultimately, that would have been the nail in the coffin. Still 1-0. Hamilton steps forward to intercept that. Moreno playing rather deep. Here's Schmidt. Looking for Kalen Ryden with that long ball. And that's something that we see a lot from the New Mexico United center backs. Those long balls played forward. There's Ryden crossing that to Josh Suggs. Suggs crosses it. So that clearance is sent right back to Suggs. Cello now. Outside of the foot. Illich. United just lose possession there. Here comes Garay now. Plays it forward for Bolivar. Bolivar going one-on-one with Hamilton. Bolivar, you can tell he's very hungry for that second goal. Panchit. Right-footed strike. It's deflected by Cello and gobbled up by Tambakis.
It's difficult to play 3 in the back when you have a full roster. It's really hard to play 4 in the back when you have 10, and you're starting to see these guys now, like, hard to close down space, but Sam Hamilton's still breaking up 2 plays there.
Here is Sam Hamilton.
4 players against the back line now for New Mexico United.
He's trying to pick out Josh Suggs. That's headed away by Akwe. Schmidt. Here's Cello now.
One service that breaks that back line and they have a chance here. Kalen Ryan's open on the back post.
And they go right to him, but it's Akwe getting in to head that away before it finds Kalen Ryden. And Akwe now is down. Jumps right back up. We have a substitution here for New Mexico United. And making his New Mexico United debut, his professional debut, from right here in Albuquerque, it's number 16, Alex Touche. He replaces Armando Moreno. That substitution brought to you by REDW as the cross played into the box. Bouncing around, still bouncing around, still bouncing around, and United are celebrating. They've equalized. Well, they haven't equalized. It's Florida that's on top of the ball. The United players were upset about something. They ran straight to the official.
Yeah, I think there was a handball miss there, and you saw the New Mexico United players react by chasing the referee, and it looked like there was a goal celebration, but that was a clear handball.
Ryden flicks that one forward, looking for the run of Josh Suggs, and yeah, apologies for those watching at home. It looked like they were celebrating the way that they all reacted. As we are in the 100th minute here tonight. New Mexico United in search of the equalizer. A lot of big bodies in there for United.
The goalkeeper's coming up. We'll see if they can pull a Liverpool and put one away.
Bank of America corner kick. It's Chelo Martinez. And New Mexico United are throwing everything at Loudoun. As that one punched away by Florida. Akwe now. Akwe decides to just play one forward as Tambakis tracking back, trying to protect his goal. Downs does well to retain possession for the time being.
I think he had a chance there just to pass that into the goal. If he would have looked up, I think he had Tambakis beat.
Swartz, still 1-0. Loudoun trying to hold on for their first win of the season. No foul called. And Swartz able to pick that one away, but Samake does well to see that out. Throw in. Swartz to take the throw. Into the 101st minute. Harry Swartz gets it in. Alex Touche flicks it on, and Florida is there. And that is the full-time whistle, ladies and gentlemen, is Loudoun victorious in New Mexico. It is 1-0 by way of a goal in the 40th minute by Giovanni Bolivar. As New Mexico United played with 10 men from the 23rd minute on, as Austin Yearwood was shown red for his, I want to say it was a foul, the foul that was called against Kairu Amustafa. Heather, real quick, some of your takeaways from tonight.
A controversial match. I mean, some calls that felt like they were missed, including the red card and potentially a, Coach was saying, and you can see it now, there's some heated players, but that's the game, and congratulations to Loudoun United on their first win in the USL, which is a big deal for them, especially coming here to get it.
You can see tempers flaring down on your screen as Jermaine Florida having some words with some members of the New Mexico United team. As you said, that was a very testy match, and tonight's final score brought to you by Duke City Cares, your medical family. It's 1-0 once again. Loudoun United victorious over New Mexico United. We're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll be right back.
Bones? Love saving money? B-Dubs gives you more with buy one, get one free boneless wings on Boneless Thursdays. So keep the bones in your wallet and out of your chicken. The win-win value lineup at Buffalo Wild Wings. Get takeout or delivery.
This one's for all the parents whose idea of a big night out is a 15-minute drive to a takeout window. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, now with a new look.
In New Mexico, we know true beauty, true adventure, true color, and true culture. Home to the artists, the warriors, and the multi-generational, multiracial, all-inclusive family that we call the United. This is New Mexico United, and New Mexico United is New Mexico true.
Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park as Loudoun United pick up their first 3 points of the season. That is their first victory, Heather. Tyler Ortega here, joined by Heather Dyke. And it was a really gutsy performance from Loudoun United as we take a look tonight at the full-time stats. New Mexico with a ton of shots in that second half, totaling 14 on the night, 4 of them on target, just unable to find the back of the net. New Mexico United did win in possession with just a little bit over 54% of the possession here tonight. As let's go ahead and have a look at some of the replays here from tonight, starting off with the red card that was called in the 23rd minute on Austin Yearwood. And Heather, it didn't look to be a whole lot there.
I just don't see it. And we have the luxury of replay, and the referees don't. But I have a hard time with that one. Even if he did hit him, I don't think that's red. I think it's a yellow.
And you can see Austin Yearwood doesn't really seem to make a whole lot of contact. But regardless, he was given the red there in the 23rd minute. New Mexico United forced to play with 10 for the rest of the match. And here was Giovanni Bolivar trying his luck from just outside of the 18. That was following that red card, but really no issue there for Tambakis. And this is where the deadlock was broken in the 40th minute. It's Mustafa who plays it across, and just a one-time strike from Bolivar. That was a beautiful goal.
If you're going to get scored on, you want it to be a goal like that. You don't want to get scored on, but you don't ever want it to be something that you could have prevented. And that was a really good build-up and an excellent finish.
Yeah, and he was all over the place, was Bolivar. As we saw later in the game, he was very excited to try to find the back of the net for a second time. And this, eventually, it was the second red card of the night, issued to the gaffer, the head coach, Troy Lesane of New Mexico United, being sent off late in the second half. And, that seemed to have really light a fire under the players, unfortunately, just unable to find that equalizer.
Yeah, I mean, coach has the same passion the players do. And for those guys to come out and put in that kind of effort and energy being down a player was pretty special. And he has that same passion. And sometimes that boils over.
And it is the first defeat at the Lab here for New Mexico United on this young season, as they only played 2 games here so far. As we have a look tonight at the man of the match, presented by Pepsi. It was Josh Suggs, 76% passing tonight, Heather. He caused a lot of issues for Loudoun.
I think he was without question the man of the match. I mean, his crossing accuracy, his ability to drive up the line, and not only that, but his ability to defend. I mean, he was double teaming, he was stopping Mustafa, and I think he was a special player for United tonight.
And tonight's save of the match is brought to you by Positive Energy Solar. Generate positive energy, and of course, it's Alex Tambakis, who he did have to make quite a number of plays to keep this game at 1-0.
He did. He came off his line quite well. He was big when he came off of his line, and he just got a hand on things to make it difficult to score.
So again, New Mexico United falls at the hands of Loudoun United. It is 1-0, as Loudoun United will be heading back to the East Coast as they picked up 3 points here out west. That's going to do it for our entire crew here tonight. For Windfire, Gary, there behind the boards. Heather, thank you so much for joining us. It was a ton of fun.
My pleasure. I love doing it, and I'm a huge New Mexico United fan and a fan of yours, Tyler, so thank you for letting me join.
And that's going to do it for us here. My name is Tyler Ortega. Thank you for watching.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.